Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. Sunday today, it's a bit of a almost rainy day here on the West Coast. But I'm here a little earlier than normal. I'm kind of excited. I'm going out to do a wreath making class. So I'm going to get my Christmas wreath all ready a little early, but it'll be ready to hang on the door. So I jumped on a little early today, and I'm going to share a project using one of the new online exclusives that become available for you to order starting November 7th. So that is Tuesday. There are a number of online exclusives. I've shared the Meandering Meadows or Garden Meadows bundle in the past. This is called Fluffiest Friends. It's such an adorable little bundle that you can, it's perfect for coloring, and some little critters that are so sweet, bunnies. I'm going to do the beaver today because it seemed very Canadian to do a beaver. And let's see, there are some other products coming out in the online exclusives as well. So we haven't seen them all, but on Tuesday morning, you'll be able to see all of the new online exclusive products that will be available. All right, I'm going to switch over and we'll make a card together. All right, so this is the Fluffiest Friends bundle. Isn't it sweet? Look at these little critters. The bear, the kitty cat. I'm not, maybe that's a hedgehog. He kind of sits like a hedgehog, a bunny, a bird. Somebody can correct me. Maybe it's a hamster, I'm not sure. Gerbil. But really cute. And then of course the pile. Now there are dies that go with it, and of course there are more dies than there are. The images are 95%, so the stamps are slightly bigger. Hey Pam, welcome. It is so cute. So the stamps are slightly bigger than what they appear on here, and then there's some extras. So of course grass, some balloons, a branch, leaves. Look at this beehive or wasp nest. I'm not sure. I'm going to say it's bees, but balloons. Oh, and then of course this this shape here, if I turn it around, kind of looks like a beehive. Just so adorable. Okay, so what am I going to use today for this? Well, I've pulled out Pebbled Path. So I've got a piece of Pebbled Path that is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm going to score it. Something on there. 4 at 5 1/2. First time I played with this, I've been kind of holding it. Okay, so it's scored at 5 1/2. I'm folding into the raised line or into the mountain for my card base. I was trying to decide what colors to use. So I thought Pebbled Path and Poppy Parade would be pretty. There's not much, if I look at the little beaver, there's not much, I mean, nothing to add. I guess I could do a heart in Poppy Parade. That might be actually kind of cute. Looks like little twigs, but anyway, so I thought I'd add the splash of color behind. So I've cut this. This is the second largest scalloped rectangle from the scalloped rectangle dies. I love this set of dies. Of course, it coordinates with the color and contour stamp set, but these are almost one of my go-to sets of if I need a rectangle. I just love the scallops and the different stitching that's on them. And then you have the scalloped edging, and then the ones that cut out the shapes from the color and contour. So I've used the second largest. Okay, so let's pull. Actually, the first thing I want to do, I'm going to do some stamping in behind here as soon as I find my Pebbled Path. No, early espresso. There it is, Pebbled Path ink. And there is this stamp of all the twigs, kind of like the start of a beaver dam. Oh, no, you're missing. I hate it when you misplace. I was doing some stamping creating yesterday for a tag class that I'm doing at the museum, and I lost one of the stamps from the what stamp set, the Sending Cheer stamp set, but luckily I found it underneath my Stampin' Scrub. So I'm just going to take and stamp. Let's see how dark that is. So I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to just take and stamp make kind of a frame with these twigs. Not all of this will show, and that's why I'm not going in the middle, because I'm going to cover this up. Now I'm going to close this because I want to put some at the top. There we go. Okay. So then this just kind of creates some interest in behind my scallop. Oh no. I have a magnet pen that I use that I kind of scour along the floor and, kind of run along the floor, and sometimes I can find it that way. Okay, so I cut a piece of basic white cardstock that is about the same size as this inner stitched line. So it's actually cut 2 5/8 by about 4, and it fits kind of in there. And that's what I'm going to stamp. That's what I'm going to put on here. I'm going to stamp my beaver using Tuxedo Black, and I'm going to do some coloring and then punch him out. Okay, the other thing I want to do is grab my Poppy Parade, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Now there are no sentiments with this, so I grabbed, this is the stamp set that I was using yesterday. This is the Layering Leaves stamp set. And I'm going to use this Hello stamp. I love these sentiments. So even if you're not, into the leaves, these sentiments are amazing. So I'm going to use the Hello sentiment, and I'm going to stamp it just kind of right here at the bottom of my rectangle that's going to fit. Now let's do some coloring. So I've got my beaver, and I pulled out, and I think I'm going to grab Poppy Parade. I may decide that these twigs are going to be Poppy Parade because it kind of looks like a heart. So I've got gray granite, pebbled path. I have pecan pie if I want to do the twigs in a brown, but I'm going to use gray granite. I'm going to start with gray granite. Beavers are kind of darker, so I may end up adding some of the pebbled path because this isn't really, even though this has got a bit of brown to it, beavers are kind of darker, at least the beavers I've seen. So I'm just coloring. You could use your markers. You could use, if you've got watercolor pencils, I would use watercolor paper if you were using your pencils, or if you've got some of the shimmery white still in your stash, that works really well. But if you're doing a lot of coloring, this is quite a large size image. So if you're doing coloring with your watercolor pencils, you really want to make sure that you're using a paper that's going to allow you to color without it pilling. So watercolor paper, or like I said, if you've got some of the shimmery white still in your stash. All right, so that's the light. I've kind of go over it with that. I am going to use, let's see how dark this is. I'm going to use the pebbled path. This is the light pebbled path. So I'm going to just do my blending using the light pebbled path, just to add some of the kind of darkness that I think a beaver has. And I'm going to do his tail in this is the light pebbled path. I'm going to do his feet. I don't know what color feet of a beaver are. They may not be kind of brown at all. We'll do his hands. Haven't seen a beaver close up. I'm going to do his snout in a different color. There we go. So at least it's got some kind of darker to it now. Again, I just kind of go over it with the light. And again, this is the gray granite that I used. I'm just kind of going over it just to blend. You don't have to do the whole thing. All right, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the dark pebbled path on his feet and hands, like that. All right, now, what should we do? I think I'm going to use, this is Poppy Parade. So I think I'm going to use the Poppy Parade since these twigs are in the shape of a heart. We might as well use the Poppy Parade on them. Coordinates with my card base, or the rectangle on my card base. There we go. So now we can take the die. Find the die. There it is there. Here's a piece of Post-it note tape just to hold this in place, like that. And let me bring in this will actually fit in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. He is so cute. The other thing, Pam, when I'm looking for dies, it's a bit of a pain depending on how many dies you have, but sometimes mine kind of fall out and are at the bottom of I have a kind of bin that I keep mine in. Or sometimes if I've used another set of dies, I've found my missing die in another set. But you've probably already done that. Where's my dies? So there. Gone through all of your other dies. Okay. Now, while I'm stamping, what's another image here? I'm going to stamp those. That is Poppy Parade. Yeah, I'm going to stamp all those twigs. Oh, I kind of got a halo. So there we go. Straight up and down is better. All right. Forget when I kind of rock it a little bit much. Okay, so I am going to just adhere that on flat, and then I'm going to pop my beaver up. And I'm also going to pop up my rectangle. When I was growing up in Alberta, I had friends who had a farm, and there was a beaver who had built a dam. It wasn't huge, but it was definitely a beaver dam. And I remember going to see it. It was quite an amazing thing that they do. All right, get all those backs off. And then this can go in the middle. I like to put, you can emboss your card base, but stamping on it. Oh yeah, that actually, yes, happened to me too. All right, I'm thinking he needs something. So I've got some linen thread here. So I'm just going to kind of create, I've wrapped it around my hand. Oopsie. I've got a webcam that keeps falling off of its perch. All right, so I've got some linen thread, wrapped it around the palm of my hand 4 or 5 times. And I'm just going to take and pinch it together. And I use my Stampin' Seal just to put something to hold it like that. Spread it out, and then we'll use dimensionals. The backing, these I think got a little wet because the backing is coming off. When I try to pull them off the backing, it's pulling a layer of backing off, and I'm not sure why. They might have got a little damp. I was doing some watercoloring. Maybe they got a little damp. All right, so let's try and just kind of put this, there we go. All right, so there's just something to have in the background because I should have embossed maybe that piece of basic white. There we go. He looks like he's got wings now, but that's okay. All right, and then this piece, we'll go on the inside. I lid on my glue before I forget. Oh, I'm so bad at that. Now, I was looking, I don't have any Poppy Parade. I'm not even sure that there are Poppy Parade embellishments. This is not straight. What are you doing? Sorry. It looks straight when I put it on, but it is, I'm just going to kind of, there we go, move it over a little bit. So I don't have any Poppy Parade. I don't even know if there are any Poppy Parade embellishments. I know we've got Calypso Coral, but I'm going to use, these are the Pebbled Path in color. Ooh, sorry about that. Darn. My thing for my heat tool keeps falling off. I have to fix that. Okay. These are the in color dots. If I could get them off, I would, oopsie, and then I threw it off. That one went flying. Okay, let's try this again. Well, there it is over there. Let's try the putty end. There we go. Nope. Can't seem to get these off. Let's try. Not sure why. Oh, there we go. Let's try that. Using your fingers. I always like to use my take your pick tool, but sometimes fingers are better. There we go. All right. So some embellishments. I love you can color some. I'm not sure what you mean, Pam. Yeah, so there. This is a great stamp for coloring, and so I'm definitely going to have to pull out. Like, look at this bear. Wouldn't that be cute with the honeycomb or the honey? No, the bees and the branch hanging over it, and then coloring the honey. This actually would be kind of fun, maybe, to do a little bit of paper piecing. I think these images are big enough that you could paper piece this bear if you wanted to. I might have to try that. I love to paper piece, and it's been a while since I've done that technique. But there you go. There's my beaver for today. And on the inside, of course, this the pile of twigs. All right. Yeah, kind of cute. It is such a cute set. So if you're interested in this, again, this will be available starting on Tuesday, only in my online store. It won't be in the catalog because this is one of the online exclusives. But check out, because there are some other ones besides some of the Meandering Meadow Suite, and then this Fluffiest Friends. There's some glimmer paper you may have seen demonstrators sharing. I think I used it on one of my cards. But there are some other online exclusives being launched on Tuesday as well that we haven't had a chance to buy yet. So it's always a surprise for us when online exclusives come out. We get to see some, but not all. And that's kind of fun. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great day. Now, let's see. I will be back on Tuesday with a sketch challenge at 2 o'clock Pacific. So I hope you'll join me then. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Happy stamping. Bye.